Hey everyone, it's Ross from Mythic Mountains Folk Tabletop Club. This is going to be a little bit different. What you're about to see is a Mirco-Braunstein. At least that's what I'm calling it. It's a Braunstein that we're doing through Discord. We're accomplishing it in about 2 hours flat. And I had an amazing time. This is such a fun way to play a game. Right up front, because these resources are not always listed in the play reports and Appendix N, or at least this one in particular. I wanted to go over what you're going to see here and where I gathered the resources to try to learn how to play it. I'll actually start with one that is in Appendix N, which is Browser. This is not precisely the way that I set this up, because Browser... I think I've heard these called Battle Braunsteins, are a little bit bigger in scope, but there is a basic thing here where you would hand out faction sheets, and at the beginning of the war game, that is something that I did, and I used this format where I created faction sheets and I handed it out to people, and then, you know, it has some general advice on how you'll have them operate under a fog of war. The other major resource I don't have in the Appendix N is how to actually just run a Braunstein in the same way that Dave Wesley, the creator of Braunsteins, runs them even still today. This is a blog called Kid Minotaur, and it's kind of a major blog about, you know, a breakdown. Here's how you run Braunsteins. And it's almost so simple that it's kind of hard to figure out, which is that, you know, you're going to give factions, and then the resolution is extremely freeform and free Kriegspiel, and it's up to the referee. But what actually happens, like what do you do, is that you have a strict, like, this is how time works. Like, let's say every time you make a deal, 3 hours pass or something like that, but you have to have a series of rounds. So I set up rounds so that it can't just be infinite. You can't just make infinite deals. You have a time constraint, and that's very important. And then you have the separation of parties into factions, and then you have locations. And since this was like a Mirco-Braunstein, although I had planned for more participants, we ended up only needing 2 rooms. We had a private smoking room at the Fethine Ball, and then we had the ballroom where everyone would gather, and people could act in a round to either do a shenanigan in private with me, or they could invite someone into the smoking room privately to make deals. So everyone was in the ballroom, and you're not going to see that because I'll be taking people into private rooms the whole time, and you'll see that they'll make private deals and people won't know, and then they'll come back and negotiate. And it was really a lot of fun, and we were able to move a lot very quickly in the campaign by doing this as a means of negotiation between these faction players. And I think the only thing that I would do differently, I think it worked perfectly. And it's so simple, is the interesting thing. I think anybody could do this. This would be so simple to do, so long as you have participants who are operating in opposition to one another under a fog of war. So it wouldn't work well if you had everybody getting along, you know, and being on the same team. But I think this is something you could easily do in an hour or 2 with a group of friends, so long as you set clear means of tracking time. Like each time you do something, a round passes, you only have a certain number of rounds. As long as you set a specific goal of who wins and how do they win. I think this could make for just a very easy, simple game that you could play with your friends, and it takes very little preparation. Anyways, the one thing I would change is the rounds themselves also ought to be on a timer, and that's what I would do. I would say you have 3 minutes, and I would track it, and then, all right, your 3 minutes are up, and then we would move back to the lobby. So anyways, this is a Mirco-Braunstein of the Fethine Ball, set in our year-long running Rappan Athuk Wargame, and I hope you enjoy. It is miles beneath, a demon-haunted maze that once swallowed a crusading army, the legendary Rappan Athuk. the Dungeon of Graves. A handful of iron-thewed men risk their lives, their very souls, to plunder and explore, to stop the creeping tendrils of chaos. This is their story. So everybody, welcome back to Albion. You are all gathered in the what was once known as the Dragon Marsh. And the Dragon Marsh was a swamp infested with demonic toads and mutants and swamp things and stuff like that. And something has happened. And the Dragon Marsh has flowered. And the swamps have receded. And all of the acidic waters have turned away, and it's full now of lilies and lush flowers and vibrant green vines. And you are all arrived here. You are all at this place in the Dragon Marsh that you've traveled to. Now, I'm going to frame how the game is going to work tonight. It is different than how we usually play. You might even say it's completely different than how we'd usually play a role-playing game, okay? Tonight I want to do a mini Braunstein, a Braunstein. And what that means is you may see in the Discord, and people viewing this later will not be able to see this in the Discord, but you're going to see, the people viewing it are going to see Discord windows close and open and close and open. And that's because there are a few different rooms. Now, since there's only a few participants, we're going to define these rooms in a second, because you have come to the home of the Fethine nobles. It is going to go without saying very soon that the Fethine nobles are very rich in magic. And for that reason, in a moment, I'm going to hand it over to sort of a co-GM aspect here of the Fethine nobles, played by Jake, where you're going to tell us what this place actually looks like. And you're going to give me like 3 or 4 rooms. Okay. We'll get that in a second. So what's going to happen is the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to be received. Now, I don't know if you all have ever attended a ball before, but if you do attend a ball, I was in the military, and we had officers' balls, and we would have a receiving line. And the most important person at the event would be at the head of the receiving line, and you would have a person introduce. And they would take this person, they would say, this is Lady So-and-so, and this is her husband, Sir So-and-so. And then it'd say, King Elmander and Queen So-and-so, Strangely, I'm going to leave that to your NPC, because you're going to be kind of co-GM in this. So a great burden you have is you have a tremendous number of henchmen who are all fairly important. But I leave that beginning introduction to you, and then I'm going to say, hey, you have this person here, and there's going to be at least 4. Maybe no one else shows up, which is also kind of interesting. So maybe it's just Fethine here and then 4 weirdos that are kind of out of place. So we're going to do this receiving line, and then I know somebody has to leave pretty soon, so what I'm going to do is, of the 2 factions present, you get 2 moves, okay? In those moves, you can roll to decide where you go first. You can say, hey, I want to talk to Zuvnu, and I want to talk to him in this room. And you can make a move. And if you agree, you go into those rooms. And then on that turn, every other person can go into any other room. Since we only have 2, we may just keep like an abstract lobby and then like the private room. You can do that twice in the game tonight. You get to do this twice. You'll roll to see who can do it first. The person that rolls highest can choose to go first or last. But I know John has to leave, so we may just have him move first. Okay. On your turn, you can choose who you want to entreat, or who you'd like to try to make a deal with, or what you would like to try to do. Do you want to try to speak to one of the present Fethine nobility, and maybe do a side deal within the Fethine noble like hierarchy, or do you want to speak to one of the other two factions present in private without the other faction? When that happens, we will go into a private room and everybody else will stay in this lobby. Here's the other thing. The Fethine can travel freely. Jake, you will tell me where you want to go. I'll track it here because I know you don't have mod privileges. Okay. I will get you where you need to go. So you just like send me a message and say, hey, I'm going to go see what these people are doing. And King Elmander can just like come and go into rooms as he pleases. Okay. Your goals tonight are yours because they're tied into the broader war game. So no one knows what those are, and we're not going to announce them, obviously. The Fethine, at the end of the night, to that one who is most winsome, can offer a limited wish, which I will adjudicate. So, you'll say, well, what can I do? And we'll have that conversation. By the way, the Braunstein itself works in that way. You say, I want to try to do this, and I'll say, well, do this. Is it simple enough? Kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, almost as if it invented Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see. The Fethine, Jake, the most winsome one, should both fit your goals and succeed at adhering to your rules. Okay. Now, when you enter, you will be told these rules. Do not let me forget this when the receiving line starts. So, let's start there. Jake, what does this place look like?
So, the party is being held in the sacred grove of my people. But it has the semblance of like a grand palace. It's almost as if the trees have intertwined and formed this structure that is sort of glowing with a soft light. That it doesn't look like candlelight, doesn't look like lanterns. It's sort of otherworldly. And there's sort of haunting music that's coming from within. And outside there will be a couple of pixies. They're tiny. But they are waiting to receive guests. And as you enter, there will be a sort of more, a louder ballroom where there is music playing, and you can go into there if you want music and dance and that sort of thing. There will also be a sort of more quiet, sort of almost like a smoking room. And like if you go in that one, it'll be darker and a little bit more private, but if you like look around, it'll almost look like there's like giant toadstools that like are taking the shape of like furniture, the sort of thing that you would be familiar with. And I think do we need more rooms, or do we want?
I think you're right. I think that like right now you probably have the ballroom, which is the public room, and then you probably have the private smoke room. So I'm going to take the camera back and I'm going to say that one of these pixies, how are they dressed first? I will note they can go all the way up to 19th century dress or all the way back. It is up to you.
So they're funny looking. They look like they've tried to make themselves appear like they are trying to look like respectable humans, but it's a little bit off, So it's like it looks like fine like uniform, but it just doesn't quite work. And some of them might have like animal heads, or and like their eyes will be like sort of like wall-eyed, and then they'll look at you and then they'll go wall-eyed again. They're just a little bit off.
Well, yeah, that's apropos, I suppose, as all of the others present are also trying to appear human, and appear in place. One of said wall-eyed, animal-headed, tiny pixie creatures bows to you all as you enter and says, "Greetings."
Are they all tiny?
The pixies are, at least. There are more, and he will introduce more soon. But the pixies in the front that he mentioned, one of them while still flying, bows and says, "Greetings, honored guests. While you are here in the sacred lands of King Elmander, keep in mind the rules 3. For all are bound in his lands by his rules. 1. All things are done with reciprocity. Anything given must have something given in return. Number 2. Courtesy is the rule of this land, and hospitality. All of those present and all within the lands of King Elmander are to treat all others well and courteous. No slight can be given unless a slight begins. Number 3. Ownership. Only consent can offer that which is held. Anything taken will be answered harshly." And he smiles, and then they invite you into the grand ballroom. You enter the grand ballroom, and you see the receiving line. The first part of the receiving line that is very important is, King Elmander, would you please introduce yourself? They would probably be announced. The king would be announced by one of your nobles. And then tell us about your family, your hierarchy, like all of the important people here, which is just what's on your faction sheet.
Yeah. Do you want all of them or just
the ones that are important? Right?
The ones that are important. Okay. So King Elmander is announced, and he walks in, and as he walks in, he just sort of grows in size to human size, and he's wearing like sort of Napoleonic sort of uniform, and it's like lavender. He's flamboyant. Following him, also announced, is his queen, Queen Kaja, who also grows in size to human form to stand sort of equal with the guests. And then there's a retinue of 4 other, 3 of them look like pixies. Elmander and Kaja look like pixies. They have wings. And they are announced. There is Erica Thistledown, Thub Dowerberry, and Willow Cloud Dancer. And then bringing up the rear, there is a curious-looking creature that's about the size of like a small dog, but it's like half grasshopper, half like human form. And she hops out, and she like plays her legs and plays some like fiddly music on them. And she is introduced as Kirka Tink. And she starts playing a jig as the rest of them enter.
Nice. Okay. Various Fethine of your domain are introduced, although you already perhaps know some of them. I should also note, an interesting phenomenon here is at least one of you played in a game where you've talked to these NPCs and I wasn't there, so you'll just have to help me with that and also help Jake with that. So it's totally fair to be like, I know Erica Thistledown. Okay, so like you'll just have to help Jake and I with that. Okay. So the first person comes up, and it is perhaps they come together side by side. I don't know. How are Ufkel and Zolatan dressed?
Let's see here. Zolatan didn't have access to his nice clothes for reasons, but he would have slapped something together and put on a bit of a put on some kind of magic and made some use of his polymorph. He would have arrived in human form with the intention of fully discarding it once he was among the other more foreign creatures. Or I guess you guys are quite native, actually. But seeing as everyone is sort of doing a bit of a masquerade as human, he would probably put on some kind of vaguely hybrid-like guise. sort of like the snake-like head and the feathered hair and such.
Okay.
But otherwise would maintain some human features in an effort to maintain with the first rule. But it would have some kind of slap together attempt at finery as well.
Okay. Yeah, and what would Ufkel look like? Actually, you should back up. Keep in mind, Test, you said that you're like in human form, as if we all know that you're not human. However, everyone present except Ufkel doesn't know anything about your nature. So
he's introduced himself he has in fact introduced himself to the fairies. We were kind of in a hurry, so I didn't keep close track of the individual fairies, but they know who he is.
Okay. But perhaps...
But for those of us who might not be individual fairies, just hypothetically, in case there's someone around.
Sorry, which part do you need me to clarify?
No, I'm hearing you say that basically you are in the guise of a human.
Oh, well, he would have shown up in the guise of a human, just a tall man in dark robes with black swept-back feather-like hair, with a gray stripe.
Okay.
Kind of hard to place his age, though.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And what does Ufkel look like?
Ufkel is wearing his most impressive military costume that he can muster. He's spit-shined his boots. He's borrowed a feather from his Pegasus, and he's wearing his magic ring. And every once in a while, he'll take it on or off and let his eye pop out to delight the assemblage here.
Remind us what the eye looks like.
Well, when it pops out, it looks like a glass marble.
But otherwise, it's quite human. Otherwise, it's quite lifelike.
I think it's kind of misty, like a swirly mist.
Ooh.
When it comes out. That's what I imagine.
That's pretty cool.
All right. So the first thing is one of the attendants near Kirkatink leans over to Zoltan as he approaches and just starts with a ahem. Who should I introduce you as?
I'm known as Zoltan, of course.
Yes, but of what domain? What are you lord of, Zoltan? Sir Zoltan, or lord, lady?
Oh, I am forbidden from... Well, I'm discouraged from being considered a lord on these isles. But you could introduce me as such, because I have some... I have titles from far across the sea.
Oh, please, tell us these titles. Quickly, I need to give them to the king.
You could call me Zoltan of Nizek. I've heard the name bouncing around of Zoltan of Lustria. I'm not as into that, but that works.
Anything else?
A few names I keep for myself.
So be it. And
Well,
then,
you can of course call me a member of Caden's Hand, Caden's Fist, as it's also known.
And what title do you carry there? Are you a magic user? What is the title of a magic user of your level? Does anybody know? Does anybody have that available? Somebody help me.
I don't think
original
the
D&D.
Psionics manual says this. But how about Psionicist?
Wow, that's kind of cool anyway. Okay.
Master of Dianetics, maybe?
Oh, I hope not.
All right. I'm almost going into a Dianetics.
He
or I
can
could
read your
do it.
Thetan level, but only if you ask nicely.
Your Thetan level.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
No, I don't know. I definitely don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, anyways. All right. One of the pixies announces loudly to the entire assembly and to King Elmander, Sire, this is Lord Zoltan of Nizek, of Lustria, Psionicist of Caden's Hand. And you are brought before King Elmander. Have you met King Elmander before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
In You see my
You'll need to help us briefly, Dad.
Let's see here. There was... I don't know what it was called, but we helped them fight off an attack, a recurring attack, by this creature that was like a graveyard worth of bones assembled into a sort of bone golem that was also full of like horrible jelly.
Nice. Okay. Well then, King Ilmander, you would know this Lord Zolatan is quite the hero then.
Yeah, so when you walk up, my face will brighten, and I'll be like, Zolatan, Lord Zolatan, my friend. It is good to see you.
He's very embarrassed when people call him Lord for reasons, but he's very gracious, and he dips his head and gives a sort of a flourish that makes it a little unclear exactly what his body looks like under the cloak.
And the little pixie leans over to Ufkel and says, I know, Your Grace, that you are King of Eastreach. But I wonder if there are any other titles you wish announced to the Assembly.
Well, the High King of Eastreach, some call me, my loyal subjects, and Lord of the Citadel, older than names, also. My friends call me Ufkel Snilling. I'm a Northman, and I've had traffics through with the aid of your fine people, with the capable assistance of my camarado Zolatan here. But I don't believe I've had the pleasure of making your acquaintance.
Oh, my name is of no importance, Your Grace. I will convey this to His Highness. And he smiles and bows, and then boop, 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 and it's announced to everyone here. High King of Eastreach, the Lord of the Citadel older than names, Ufkel Snilling. And have you met King Ilmander?
I don't believe we have had that.
Go ahead.
So, in this case, it's the first time we're meeting. So King Ilmander is he stands up, very prim and proper, and he like nods his head, and he says, Your Grace, welcome to our lands, and thank you for coming to celebrate at our festival.
Thank you for your magnanimous invite. Thank you.
I think something King Ilmander would know, I think as important as you would be familiar with the Citadel Older of Names. That is the one that you liberated from the demon toad.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the same fight as the frog monster, though I wasn't present for it.
Yeah. And then I will say, oh yes, King Ufkel, have you enjoyed our gift?
And I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Have you enjoyed our gift? We have returned your citadel to you. We
killed
the frog demon.
Yes. Indeed, we are highly. We were highly much obliged, and we are honored to be here.
That is wonderful.
It's a figure of speech, but I mean, it's a very polite thing to say.
Of course. It is wonderful to meet you.
And you as well.
Please enjoy yourselves. Make merry. We have fine things to eat, to drink, and the music will be amazing, I'm sure. We'll speak later.
We were all deeply impressed with your lethality.
It was a hard day. It was a risk worth taking.
Yes, a feat of arms for the ages.
So, certainly there can be more discussion later, perhaps. You each have 2 rounds, so we'll see. But the second person announced is very small lizard person. dangling all sorts of golden chains and golden ornaments and a torque, and with golden earrings and robes and 2 or 3 layers of robes, and he clanks and he drags the robe across the little floor and says, "A little serpent man." And the little pixie you hear whisper, and then doo, 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 and then this is the High Priest of Aragnac, true Lord of Eastreach, ancient master of all of the Isles and of all lands, primordial spirit, the true God, hordes of his, chief priest Zuvnu. And he goes, "Ah!"
I've heard of him.
Zuvnu.
I thought you'd be taller.
I will nod to the High Priest Zuvnu. Welcome, friend. Thank you for coming to our festival. You are welcome here, so long as you are friendly and you want to enjoy a night of merriment.
And then, like, one of your fairies can speak kobold, or I'm sorry, speak the serpent tongue is what we call it, and says,
Serpent tongues.
"Oh yeah, you understand everything that he's saying." Also, the little fairy says, "Chief Priest Zuvnu resents your implication. I'm sorry, your Highness. He says yes, of course, and thank you for." Thank you for your graciousness. Obviously, that's not what he said. And Zolatan, he's basically saying he's come to claim dominion, but wishes to speak with. And he points back to this next man. The next man brought into the procession. What does Hrothar look like?
Hrothar. It's a little different than some of the more fashionable assembled, because he asked the messenger if there was a dress code and no one got back to him, but he cuts a dash all the same. He's really playing up the kind of barbarian berserker look with his chain shirt on and a cloak of silver wolf pelt, and I believe still, assuming no one disarms him, which would probably be a bad idea, he still has a sword sheathed on his back that black smoke emanates from the holes in the sheath, and he is visibly wounded and appears to be making no effort to hide it. He has fresh wounds, some more healed than others. He's not in a bad shape, but like, he's clearly playing up. This man has been in fights recently, and he has jewelry on his fingers and probably a necklace, all preposterously ostentatious and clearly valuable. With sporting a bit of a shit-eating grin, with a little bit of a wild look behind his eyes.
You intimidate the little pixie, who tries to hide the fact that he tries to like summon and then quickly go through the guest list to see if you're an intruder or not, and then asks, "Greetings, sir. By what title and name should we announce you to our Highness, to His Highness?"
Bow ever so slightly to him and say, "Oh, I'm Prince Hrothar Houndstooth, son of King Thorvald, the last Wrath Chanter, slayer of Simrath," etc., etc. The etc., etc. should be said dismissively, if you please.
Yeah. Houndstooth, Thorvald. Yeah, son of Thorvald. This is given then. Actually, he asks, Prince of what kingdom?
I think Hrothar glances around at the other guests and sort of chuckles and says, "Low King of Eastreach."
I see.
That would be the highest title. We will give that first, and then and then the Low King of Eastreach, Prince Hrothgar Houndstooth, son of Thorvald, Slayer of Simrath, and then he mentions all these accolades, where he's slain monsters and conquered armies and villages and stuff.
Elmander will stand.
You have 3 kings of Eastreach.
Low King of Eastreach, it is wonderful for you to attend our ball. I am truly ecstatic that you're here, and I hope that we will have a wonderful time. I see that you look slightly injured. If any of my people could heal you, please let us know.
I wouldn't say no, but if I may, he'll bow deeply, and when he comes up in his hand, he will be holding a scroll, and he'll say, "I was overjoyed to receive your invitation. To be quite frank, it's not a lot of fun where I live, so this is an absolute delight. Anyway, I'm unfamiliar a little bit with your customs, and I thought it would be good of me to bring a gift. I would like you to have this."
What he hands you, without declaring to everyone precisely what it is a very high-level clerical scroll that is immensely valuable. You would recognize what it is, written in liturgic. It is very valuable. And now you are bound by reciprocity. But we'll get to that later. Okay, so all the guests are announced. All of King Elmander's staff and family are also announced. Before we make our moves, now, John, you have to leave soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will have you make all 2 of your moves first. That's what I'll do. But just before we do, is there anything that the Fethine do before the sort of casual part of the ball, the mingling part of the ball within the ballroom begins?
I think that there would be music, but I don't think I have anything that specifically we need to call out. I am, unless I can give back, and I can return the gift now, unless you want to do that later.
I would propose that you do that as you choose to enter different chambers. Like, so you yeah. Okay. So, all right. Ufkel, you have 2 rounds. You can make 2 choices. Now, we won't know precisely what the choices mean, but they kind of amount to one of like 4 different things you can do right now, okay? You can either ask to have a private audience with someone in King Elmander's court or himself. Zolatan can be present or not, as you are allies, of course. Or you can have a private audience with Zuvnu, or Hrothgar, or you can attempt to do a shenanigan, which would be a private audience with me. We'll resolve both of your rounds, and then Zuvnu and Hrothgar will roll, and Zolatan.
Terrific, get a separate.
I'll make sure you get 2 rounds. I know you're allies, but I think you're both here, so you should both get your 2 rounds to act from as well. So I'll give Zolatan 2 rounds.
Well, maybe we should conduct a little, mix our business with pleasure, but lean on the business a little bit and make sure that we make our have a nice convo with King Elmander.
Very well.
First.
So
Zolatan, yeah.
Will Zolatan be going with you? Between you two?
I would like it.
Sure.
Okay. In that case, Hrothgar, you will be here alone, but only briefly, because
There will be no hors d'oeuvres left when you return.
Zuvnu
Please
will
help
be
yourself.
here. So I'm going to go start them over into a private conversation, then come back, then go back. And that's what I'm going to do. So let me...
Zoltan definitely did some pre-gaming on the snacks so that he's not too indebted into the Fae.
Here we go. Whoops.
There we go.
All right. Did that bring it back? It did not. Let me do it here. Okay, we're back. Okay, so here you are in this finely appointed dark giant toadstool furnished smoking room. A sort of odd mix of styles that far surpass anything that has been developed yet on the mortal plane, with things very anachronistic and strange. And you find during the course of the ball an opportunity for King Ilmander to be here. Now, King Ilmander, you have with you guards and an entourage. You can dismiss them or keep them. It is your choice.
I will instruct them to wait just outside the room. And I'll give them a little wink, and they may walk towards the door and vanish.
All right. You Oofkill, have asked for and been granted your private audience, along with Zoltan, with King Ilmander.
Yes. Let me first of all express my infinite gratitude at being present on this auspicious occasion. Your magnanimity, your largesse of personal charm, and your effusive grandiloquence bowls me over quite. I am nearly struck speechless, King Ilmander. The opulence, the beauty is overwhelming. So forgive a man who is halted of speech, a simple fighting man who is glad and beyond grateful for the alliance that you have, the peace that you have brought to the fields and the swamps, making them a little bit, just slightly, as beautiful as your own native domain.
I'm so happy that you like it. It is great what we're doing.
I'm thrilled to have you for a neighbor, and I never dreamed that it would be possible to have you right at my back door, as it were. But I am afraid I do have pressing, urgent things to impart to you. The things that I think you will be very interested in.
Oh?
I should note,
yes,
probably Captain Ross is here. But go ahead.
Oh yes, Captain Ross Baird. He is a new acquaintance of mine, a fast ally that I am very pleased to have on our side. But we have something pressing to share with you. There is an opportunity to further purge the evil that infests the ground below your fair fields and meadows, where you like to frolic and your people are free. But you may know the Rappan Athuk, the cursed place deep in the bowels of the earth. It needs further purging, or even the citadel which you cleansed recently could suffer yet again even worse, more heinous things. Now my associate Zoltan could tell you about what he has found, and it's an opportunity of boundless riches that perhaps we could share if we were to go in together. Zoltan, would you like to take it from here for a moment?
I leave you all to discuss that, and I'm going to go do some Zuvnu nonsense. I'll be back.
Excellent.
I think John's got to go.
Yeah, well, this
Looks
will
like
be
you're going right now.
This will be well. I know you got to get to a game. This will be John's first round. You can resolve that. I'll come right back. It won't take long. And then when I come back, and then you'll have one more thing that you can do. And then yeah. All right, I'll be right back. Okay.
Cool.
So,
All right. Let's see. Can you hear me? I'm back. Okay.
I can hear you.
All right. So, you may have not noticed them. They may have left off into their own, into their private chamber. I don't know if you would have noticed it or not, unless you're intentionally trying to watch them.
There aren't a lot of guests at this party, which is a little disappointing.
There's a ton of guests, all fairies.
There aren't a lot of guests that Hrothgar cares about.
Right. So,
I think he noticed them leave, but isn't too perturbed by it.
All right. The only other non-fairy guest here is Zuvnu, who immediately seeks you out. So you almost kind of get a free round. And he has his little fairy translator, and he's like, "Rah! Rah, rah." And the fairy translator is like, Chief Priest Zuvnu wishes to speak with you. I can translate if you wish.
That'd be delightful. I was kind of hoping to make his acquaintance. The message he sent me, I received it, but it wasn't very rich in detail.
He goes on, and then the fairy nods, and he says, apparently he has a message directly from this Eregnak the Red, true master of the Owls.
Well, lay it on me.
He says, I offer you riches and power beyond your imagination if you agree to swear an oath to serve me and use your fleet along with my breath to bring terror and pillage and slavery to this island. You will be master of every monster that inhabits this coast, every person, every life, every insect. You shall be my champion if you swear this oath. Your name will be known and feared throughout this island and far beyond.
Oh, that is tempting as deals go. But there's a bit of a problem. I don't have a way to talk to Eregnak, and I don't actually know. I mean, it's with all due respect, but I don't actually know for sure that you speak with his voice.
Let me look at the cleric spell list. And then I'll hop back over to the other folks. He will ask you to come outside.
I thought the conversation was going so well, and now he already wants to catch me outside.
Exactly. He wants to catch you outside, where he offers to show you under the night sky the very meaning of power, if not his extent of it.
It is pretty persuasive. Can we do that real quick without upsetting the vibe of the ball?
Yeah, that being the idea, that you don't want to do this literally inside of this king's ballroom.
All right, let's shuffle out. I'll steal this all stealthily.
He will cast Commune, which he can do once, and he will actually summon the visage of Eregnak the Red, an ancient red dragon who was once the master when the Serpent Kings ruled the Isles. And you see his reptilian eyes, and you can hear the thundering breath. This is some sort of ancient being located somewhere within this, within Eastreach. And you can ask him 3 questions.
And I can ask him 3 questions. The dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you serve?
Myself.
What will happen if you succeed?
Domination. It will appear as if humans rule this place, but it will really be me. They should be so lucky.
Who do you think is your greatest threat in Albion?
The coming dragon. If we do not stop her, no one will rule this place. And no one else but me. No one else. I alone know what it takes to stop a dragon god.
Oh, wait, hold on. So this guy looks different than the dragon that I saw in my vision about the arrival of the dragon.
Yes.
Oh.
This is an actual dragon here on this island somewhere, or on the. Yeah.
Oh. So Argonac and the Dragon of Prophecy are different entities. What would you have your arbiter do?
Take this seal from my servant. It will be burned into you. It will magically seal you to me. In that very moment, you will have command of my forces.
Would I... This is not a meta question, but a DM question. Would this be irreconcilable with my existing faith in the old gods and shenanigans? Or could I, is it financiable?
No, you could totally be the Dragon King of, this could be one path to power. You could take this path. It's just a question of, do you take this path, and then...
Yeah, but would my gods, the gods that I serve, would they frown on this? Or would they be
you could pick any god. I think I mentioned that before. You can switch to the light. You could actually Christianize and follow history.
I like keeping my options open. So I suppose I'm asking, would this close off the old gods path, who I assume is my default?
I don't think they care. I don't think the old gods care. Yeah, but the light would, because this is a chaos being. This is so the light will not. This is evil. But you might maybe say, "Hey, I'll talk to this king first, or something." I don't know.
I think I don't know. That feels like such a coward's option, but I think I would like to say I'd like to explore this possibility further. Is there a place that I could reach you, or a way that I could contact you? I assume the dragon's gone now.
Yeah, because you've asked your 3 questions, and Zumnu says through the translator says, he says that you have until the end of the night when he departs, and then he bows. Now I got to get back to the others.
Gotcha.
All right, let's see here.
Good.
Where are you all?
I think we can definitely work this out even more. If you could make commitments to come and celebrate at our future festivals after this would be a compelling reason.
That is a most exquisite offer, and we are truly flattered, are we not, Zolotin?
Certainly.
I can think of no greater joy in life.
He leans in though. He's like, the first pick. Are you sure?
He said first pick. That's what I heard.
Okay, are you guys ready?
The generosity of our king is legendary.
Ready for Ulfkel to do his round 2 now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to simply remove. Now, actually, I don't have to. You can stay here. It's up to you. You can either take your leave or stay as King Elmander. Do you stay or leave? If you
I will
leave,
go back.
whatever Ufkel doesn't choose will be what is in the ballroom. Right. So, yeah.
Okay.
And you don't know
I'm
that.
curious. I'm curious.
I mean, you'll
I'm
know.
curious.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'll wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah. Ufkel, round 2.
I am deeply curious of what the cult of Aragnac has been experiencing. Because...
So, round 2, Ufkel, can be me alone, if you want to try to get up to shenanigans. Zuvnu, you can continue talking to King Elmander, and we can end it there. Or, Hrothgar.
Zoltan, just to think about diplomacy, because that is something else that's high on our priorities. Should we maybe talk to the barbarian Viking man?
The Low King.
I feel like you two at least ought to discuss something. I'm not actually clear on what's happening there, oh chief.
Making allegiances and that sort of thing.
If you can get him, if you can get him on our side, so much the better.
Yeah, do we have any more gifts?
I didn't really bring more.
All right, so it sounds like you want to invite Hrothgar to the chat.
Yes.
Does King Elmander stay or leave?
I'm going to leave. I want to go talk to
Zuvnu?
Zuvnu.
Okay. All right, let me set that up.
Let's take a hit off the pipe. We could do that. Stuff's expensive.
All right. One of the pixies, Hrothgar, says, Your Highness, Low King of Eastreach, the High King of Eastreach, Uthkel, which is an audience, and motions toward this private chamber.
Sounds good. For future reference, His Lowness.
His lowness. Yes.
All right, he strides into this smoking room once again, because he wasn't here before. Hrothgar, this smoking room, it's a quiet smoking room. It's dark in here. The furniture all made of giant toadstools. It is in a style that is beyond the ages you know. It includes anachronisms from things long ago and also things you do not understand.
There is also some actual smoke in it now.
Oh.
Zoltan dipped into his... he was kind of desperate to find a good gift, so he dipped into his private stash of tobacco that he took across the sea.
I was going to say, are there like
you don't know what that is.
Cigars on offer?
Yeah, I mean, he did basically say that he would, yeah. So that would be his introductory gift.
Yeah.
So you're probably given that you are from the old world, you would probably be expecting like cannabis. So this would be a surprise to get a buzz off it instead.
So Ufkel, in the remaining time, this is your last round. What do you want to try to do? You have Hrothgar here.
Hrothgar, you remind me of a great chieftain that I heard so many tales about in my youth. I'm named Hrothgar, and you make me homesick, frankly. And I have a gift for you, because I feel like we are cousins. How would you like half a dozen silver-tipped arrows? Would that be something useful to you?
It may well be. I find my days frequently consumed with thoughts of with monsters breathing down my neck, so I wouldn't turn my nose down at them. A very gracious gift.
So yes, in my experience, silver sometimes can bite a bit more deeply, if you know what I'm saying. But I must be swift. Forgive my brevity, but we could use you as an ally. We have I'm very comfortable on a keelboat and all kind of sailing vessels, and I was a rover in my youth, and I liked a good raid as much as Koyalakis, who met his fatal fate on the shores of Frisia many, many decades ago. I even thought his famous collar there, but that is neither here nor there. You just make me nostalgic. That's all I'm saying. We could use your friendship, and I hope you'll have a nice puff of this pipe from my friend Zolatan. And if there's any favors we might exchange, that would be good to discuss. I'm sorry to be rude, but I must away on a pressing errand. But Zolatan, do you kind of get my drift here, like what I'm saying?
Of course.
I'll tell you what. I appreciate enormously the hand of friendship that you're extending to me here. But I agree, this, one night of fairy-flavored debauchery is not necessarily the most conducive environment to long, thoughtful conversations. I actually am in need of a friendly port. And it just so happens, right now, I'm closer to the city that you rule, Caden's Rest, than I ever have been before. And I would be much obliged if you would allow me access to your port. I don't have many vessels or warriors with me right now, but I am interested in perusing and spending gold at your markets. And whilst I'm there, it may be a wonderful opportunity to talk some more.
In official
I would
terms,
love...
You first.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, let me say what's on my mind, and then I will turn you over to my good friend Zolatan, and then I must bow out. But I would love to be your host myself and show you around our. I will show you what rustic charms that we have within the walls of Caden's Rest, and show you the best ale houses and such. But also, there may be times when we may face a common foe, a threat bigger than we can usually handle separately, and I would enjoy fighting at your side, Frothar. And
I myself have come into knowledge of at least one threat that you face that I would not mind at all seeing foiled, so we can discuss this.
Yes.
Many more things.
Yes.
Before you go, I should return you a gift. So here I have this ancient, inconceivably ancient and mysterious bottle of alcohol. It's not quite a silver-tipped arrow, but could be great fun.
That sounds...
One of my companions gifted me, so here you are.
I would love nothing better. This is tremendous. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, brother from the north. And now I must take my leave, and blessings, and I pray that you have wonderful time here in King Elmander's court.
Safe travels to you, my friend.
Yes, and you. Zolatan, I trust you with the details, my friend. Thank you so much for attending with me.
Of course, Chief.
All right, see you later, John.
All right, I bid you adieu.
Before anything else happens, the fairies interrupt with some sort of whimsical game that they demand you join. Let's see here.
Now we're done for.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so we're all back in the lobby now. And I see that Simeon has also joined us.
Yes.
Good to see you, Colin.
We've done some... Yeah, hello. We have done some initial exchanges of fine wines.
Nice. Okay. In character, we'll actually say, is it Simeon that shows up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simeon, there's a little like fairy that, and so we can announce him to everyone here. And by the way, in terms of player, Colin, I believe you've met Test and Jake, but this is my friend Caleb. Rothar Thorvaldson is Caleb. Caleb, this is Colin.
Hello.
But for the character, just so that we can introduce him to everybody, there is another formal announcement of the character. A little pixie goes up to Simeon. What does Simeon look like, though, actually, first? And how is he dressed?
Yeah. So he's dressed in simple robes, traveling robes, and he has a big bushy beard, but he's actually relatively young. And maybe some twigs sticking out from his hair, because he's not too concerned about that. But no, very simple looking man. A bit, how would you say? A bit built for what you'd expect from a druid, perhaps. And yeah, some tan on his skin, some dark brown hair.
All right, nice. A little pixie comes up and leans in and says, "Oh, excuse me, I don't know if I saw you on the guest list. What is your name, good sir?"
Yeah, so we've sort of done the introduction with already, but yeah, he will introduce himself as Simeon the Druid.
What level is he? I can't stand it. I have to look this up now because I mean, come on. What? No. You don't be sorry. We were just talking that like here we have the chance to have the titles. We got to roll them out.
I see. Yeah. Let me because there's specific things for druids. I don't need to look what that is.
At least in the thing I was looking at, for me, I don't think I have any titles for level.
It's not in Swords and Wizardry, but it's in the original game.
So he's technically not a druid yet, but I suppose an acolyte of the 5th Mysteries, which puts him at 6th level.
It sounds pretty good when you say the acolyte of the 5th Mysteries.
That's the kind of thing you introduce
That is
yourself
pretty good.
at a ball.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so
I'm still thinking of what title I should have used, and I'm thinking, man, maybe I should have just gone with Coatl. Pretty cool.
So
It's the most obvious one.
They announce Simeon the Druid, acolyte of the 5th Mysteries. And you see this powerful druid come into the stage. Now, we had to resolve John's. So Colin, this is a mini Braunstein. And so you'll be trying to achieve your goals here. There is a gift that the Fethine can offer at the end of the night for those most winsome, according to both their rules and the goals of the Fethine, which is a limited wish, which I adjudicate. Have you heard the 3 rules?
I have not.
You'll have heard them from a pixie when you enter this grand ballroom. The 3 rules of the kingdom of Elmander are reciprocity. A thing given must have a thing given in return. Courtesy and hospitality. No slight can be given unless a slight is... no slight is to be given unless a slight exists. Or like, in turn. Ownership and consent. A thing which is owned is sacred, and if that is violated, there is punishment. So, reciprocity, hospitality, and consent. Now, everyone please roll a d6. Each person gets 2 rounds where they can entreat different factions. I will say, Colin, please act as your own faction and not necessarily as like Caden's Rest. As you know, that is over. You are your own faction.
Okay.
And you were trying to take over... you were trying to take over now, not... Yeah. Okay.
Right. Run my own operation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, take over the map. You were trying to win.
Oh, I see. You're... okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we'll have to talk about that because I'm not sure what that would be exactly, but yeah.
Me neither. You tell me. But anyways, yeah, we can totally talk about it. Rothar got a 4. Jake got a 5. Jake, you'll actually be free to roam as much as you want. And you can go into all
that's right.
places.
Yeah.
But what about Zolatan and Simeon?
Here we go.
Do you need me to roll for this? Okay.
Yes, you will have 2 rounds that you can act, separate from Ufgal.
Got a 5.
That's a pretty big advantage that Team Law gets there. But I think it's fair. Okay, so let's see. Right, just keep rolling.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good because you tied with Frothar. Might as well roll again.
One more? Okay.
All right, there we go. Okay, so it's gonna go, and then I roll, and then I'm gonna tell you who's here very briefly. I won't spend much time on it. Okay, and dang it, I gotta roll again.
There we go.
2 is good enough. All right, so you see a little lizard man here, bedecked in all sorts of jewelry and robes. You see a warrior, obviously Fionjotter type warrior, and then you recognize Zolatan, I believe. I believe you've met Zolatan. Okay,
Right.
so let's see. It goes. Zolatan is first, and then it goes Hrothar. And then it goes Zuvnu. And then lastly, Simeon. And then we'll resolve that in that order again. So, top of the round, Zolatan, the 4 choices. And I'll restate them here for Colin, okay? You may meet with a member of the Court of the Fethine, and not just King Elmander, but you can meet with one of the NPCs privately. If you want to do that,
was right after Erica Thistledown.
Actually, if you want to do that, that will be you saying you want to meet with me. Okay, so that's one option. You can meet with King Elmander. You can meet with any of one of the factions here, or if you want to get up to shenanigans, you can meet with me privately.
I think I would like to try some shenanigans.
Very well. So, the rest of you can stay in the grand ballroom. Feel free to share freely whatever you want. However, whatever you share here happens in character. All right. Let me move over and we'll have a chat. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Tell me about that in the chat when we get there for sure. That's a good, let's see. Private room, Zolatan. Okay. All right. And we'll move kind of quickly. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Okay. What, so you said that you wanted to pick up, what is it you said here? You wanted to emotionally sense sensations of deceit.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of more just like pulling security, that
Sure.
part.
Okay. I don't think you even sense any yet. I don't think. I could be wrong.
Amazing.
Except Hrothar has a secret. He has precisely 2. You are powerful enough to see that he is keeping his mind shut on 2 things. But what kind of shenanigans do you want to do?
I kind of want to spy on Zuvnu's faction,
All right.
if this can be accomplished realistically, because my dude's smarter than I am. So, but he would like to learn more about them and like what they are really trying to accomplish here, and also whether they are like reeling from a setback, whether they're like excited about something. Because I keep getting hints that there's some kind of dragon power that's behind Aragnac and is even more of a big problem, and I want to try to gain some subtle insight into that if possible.
Absolutely. You want to spy on him. I assume that you try to do this surreptitiously. How do you try to do that?
Go to somewhere where it seems like I am under observation, but then I sneak away. I would transform. I would polymorph into some kind of, I don't know, some kind of weird forest creature that just seems to blend in, some like a squirrel or a bird or something.
Here's my chance to roll a die.
Oh boy.
Whew. Okay, good. I was nervous. All right, here we go.
Oh boy.
All right, you turn into what creature?
I mean, it would be contextual, but some kind of bird, some kind of bird that fits in.
It's fine. You turn into a bird. This is what you observe happen. Hrothgar is invited outside. It almost looks like a confrontation with Zuvnu, but then he's brought out beneath the densely star-speckled sky of the night of under the night sky of Albion, and the bird song are in the trees. And you do this. You like transform into a bird so you can light right nearby and see what happens. And I will tell you precisely their conversation.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. So Zuvnu has a translator, and he basically says to Hrothgar, I have a message from my master. And I will even read you the message directly because it comes from the translator.
I speak the language as well.
Yeah, so you'll also hear Zuvnu say this. Zuvnu is much more coarse and hateful and talks about people being weaklings and stuff, and the translator does not offer that stuff. But it says, I offer you to Hrothgar, the Fionjater, I offer you riches and power beyond your imagination. If you agree to swear an oath to serve me and use your fleet along with my breath to bring terror and pillage and slavery to these people, you will be the master of every monster, of every person, of every insect and tree, of each inch of land. You will be my champion, and by your power and slaughter, my name will be known and feared throughout the islands. And so then Hrothgar sort of like strokes his face and he says, how can I know that you actually speak by his will? And then Zuvnu cackles and casts essentially commune, and then offers Aragnac himself. And you see a reptilian eye through a veil, a massive reptilian eye. And in a booming voice, just as like a human in common, it answers 3 questions from Hrothgar. And it says, Hrothgar says, what do you want? No, he says, who do you serve? And Aragnac says, myself. Hrothgar says, what will happen when you win? And Aragnac says, domination. It will appear as if humans rule these isles, but it will be me. They would be fortunate if it were so. And the third thing Hrothgar says is, what do you fear most? And Aragnac says, the coming dragon god. Only I know how to stop a dragon god. And Hrothgar thinks for a moment and says, okay, this is verbatim, actually, really. I'm just relaying what happened. He says,
I'm typing it up as best I can.
Yeah, I will, how will we seal this agreement? When will I meet with you? And then the 3 questions are gone, so the dragon disappears, and Zuvnu says, you must make this agreement by the end of the night before I depart, and I will put my seal on you, quest spell, basically, and then you will be given command of my armies in that moment. Hrothgar then says, this is something we'll have to continue to discuss. It's tempting, or I'll think about it, or something to that effect. I can't remember. And then they came back in. So that's your first round. Go ahead.
Does Zoltan think that his aura reading ability, which he has a high mastery in, does he think that he would be able to see the imprint of this quest spell on him by the end of the night to see whether he said yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to do that. I don't know if that'll take an action. I mean, I could probably just glance at him, but if that takes an action, it's kind of important.
No,
okay.
Yeah, you would just remind me. All right, that was your first round, so I'm going to throw you out and put somebody else in here. Here we go. Ready?
Good. Okay.
Hrothgar, hello again.
Hello again.
This is your second round of the 4 options. What do you choose?
It's got to be Zoltan.
You're going to bring Zoltan in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like the way you said that. Am I walking into a trap? No, whatever.
Welcome back, Zolatan. Sorry if I pulled you away from conversation. A fairy, a little pixie, I'm sorry, what are they called? A grig? The little grasshopper people, says, please, Low King Hrothgar would like to speak with you. And ushers you back into the room and an audience with Hrothgar in the smoking room.
But a humble servant of Caden's hand. Says,
Yeah.
with a wry smile.
About that, I apologize. I'm a little... I must confess. Yeah, I must confess, I was hoping to see people from your fair city here at this gathering. Who are you?
I'm named Zolatan. I hail from far, far across the sea to the west.
I apologize. Who runs the city there? This Ulfkel gentleman?
He's a first among equals, you might say. He is something of an on-again, off-again king. You know how all of these Albionese are very particular about their titles. But Ulfkill, there are many attempts to try to question his power, but he keeps kind of coming back into it because people like him and people follow him, people trust him. We don't follow him unquestionably. There is a council of Caden's Rest, which has the ultimate authority over these decisions. But if it comes to stuff like your proposal to gain basing rights in Caden's hand, I don't think that there will be a large issue in Ulfkill bringing them around. Is that sort of what you were asking?
A little bit. I apologize. There's been a bit of... I'm a little out in the boonies, and I don't get a lot of news.
Unfortunately, the feeling is mutual. I'd love to learn so much more about you and your people.
Well, there's not a whole lot. We were sent over about 2 years ago from the Andric Isles to, raid, conquer, and all that stuff, and it went really well for a while. Not quite as north as you guys, but we were getting there when we'd heard that a Fionn Jotter king had taken up residence in Caden's Rest and was calling himself High King. This caused a great deal of consternation. That was, I think, my father's title. So you know how it is. You can't have two. Someone's got to kill the other one. So he went off to kill your friend, the fine gentleman. That went very badly. There are a lot of...
He's still alive.
Yeah, and my father, great warrior that he is not. There are, it turns out, a lot of monsters in between you guys and where I am to the south. And this has been...
this is true, I fear.
Yeah, this has been, let's say, disastrous for the realm, more or less. And I'm not quite... The responsibility has fallen upon my shoulders to restore the realm that had been getting established and complete our mission with not a whole lot to start with. So I've been trying to piece things back together.
Dalton strokes his chin with a feathered wing. It's like,
now,
how far would this dominion extend, if I may politely ask?
I'm not This probably isn't very smart of me, but I'll be completely forthright with you. I'm asking myself that question. In theory, I am oath-bound to conquer Caden's Rest. In practice, I'm oath-bound to do a lot of things. And you guys, you're not exactly undead hordes or unreasonable monsters, and neither are we. We both trade, we drink, we marry, we're people.
Yes.
And
even me.
As I would assume. And So I'm not particularly in a hurry to make war upon Caden's Rest, and I think looking at the blank spaces on my map that I assume are full of scary things, we might be much more productive as friends than otherwise. My current power is a little not immense, but I'm very happy with the progress that I've been making so far, but I've come to the point where I need stuff. I happen to have come onto a fairly large amount of gold, but I need specialists who can build things. I need blacksmiths. I need horses. I have some good warriors, and I have the ability to hire more. I just don't really have like population and stuff to hire them from. So what I really need access to is a city. I've been looking at a few options. Caden's Rest, the simplest one. I can reach you guys by river. And I would love to, at least in the immediate term, stop by and spend a lot of money and maybe hire some people who are looking for work. But if you guys would like to collaborate on taking the fight to some of these monsters, especially the hordes of undead located to your southeast, I have a father to avenge and all that.
They've always been a gigantic problem, and as of late they have grown more so. And I can say that Caden's Rest is the closest thing to a large city in the region. It is well situated for travel.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a long way from there to Port Town, which would be the next available option.
Yeah, there's
much
another
further down the river.
Fionjotter settlement lying further to the south that I'm looking into as well. But anyway,
what's the name of that one?
I'd have to look at my notes.
I feel you there.
Corgi.
Oh yeah, Corgi. Land of the Corgis.
Try to look up more information about that.
Yeah,
in character, my character would know that. He's much smarter than I am.
But I have cleared a couple locations along the coastline, and I don't know how prepared the undead are for that, but if you guys would be interested in launching a campaign against the undeads, perhaps from a more southerly or coastal direction, I would be willing to fund the establishment of fortifications and forts to support such a campaign. I'm willing to prove that I
This
would.
is very much in need. The things have taken a turn for the dark. I will just say this: the Master of Rappan Athuk is on the move. The Dark One himself, or his avatar, has climbed out of that deep, dark pit in the earth that seems to go on forever and ever, each level more hideous and deadly than the last, and now all of those horrors are climbing up here. And I think that all of our rivalries, however important for these thrones, are simply going to have to wait, or else we'll be ruling over nothing.
That's a settlement I share. Do you happen to, I'm not as familiar with your exact part of Albion, where would that entrance to Rappan Athuk be? Relatively.
Sorry, I'm running into an issue with our mapping, but my character would know the entrance to Rappan Athuk.
Yes, and you would. It's You're currently. Can I draw in Discord? No. You guys are in Roll20. I can do it here. All right, let me.
I think I would. Gosh, I'm trying to think if there's a reason I shouldn't do this, because this is kind of a secret. But I think I would just go ahead and give him the entrance to and tell him where the well is.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe. Are you sure? Yeah, you let me know.
However,
this is the last move. This is the last move, and I would say we're playing the Braunstein. So come to a tentative agreement here. Like, take a risk. Don't say, let's talk later. No, this is the time.
I look Hrothgar in the eye. and I ask him, if I tell you this information, you will use this to bring war against the darkness.
I don't know that I have any interest in it one way or another, especially if it's a bit north from me. The reason I ask,
If you're trying to avoid it, then I can definitely plot a circle.
I'm trying to avoid it, yeah, probably. But part of the reason I ask is there's a hole in Caden's Rest. Kind of a hole. Like a decayed patch of ground. Does this ring any bells?
Oh. I believe so.
Right. I don't know what you know. How much do you know about what's going on there?
Well, first off, I'm not sure if we're talking about the same thing. Was this hole until a few months ago someone's hut?
I don't know anything about it. I saw it in a vision, which concerns me, and I feel that you guys should know.
Well, I think Zoltan in character can actually draw a little bit. Like we've sort of established that. So I would try to make like a little doodle of what became of Ullman's hut, and ask him if that's ringing any bells. Though I don't know if it draws well enough to really ring a bell, but let's give it a shot.
It rings. It looks exactly like this, Hrothgar. What you saw.
Oh.
I found a witch with the power to see into the future. Very powerful and very dangerous magic. She is now dead. I now possess her magics. I'm not particularly interested in using them if it can be helped, but I was able to secure a vision of the future, the arrival, the Dragon of Prophecy. It will appear at or near Caden's Rest. That will be its arrival point, and that patch of ground leads to the roots of the World Tree. That is its target.
I see. But it will emerge there, and then gnaw on the roots? Did you see it coming out of there or going into there?
It was going. It came out elsewhere. It just appeared out as if out of thin air, and a great claw came from this dragon, came down and basically dug a large hole there, which revealed a cave system, I suppose, leading to the roots of the World Tree. And the dragon, I didn't see it again. What went through the hole was a woman who looked and dressed plain and unremarkable. You now know what I know.
I see.
And with that, I fear we've run out of time for this round. So I'm gonna boot you all back out to the lobby and invite.
Thank you very much.
Zuvnu.
I think I made my power moves.
All right. Zuvnu would speak with. Who would Zuvnu speak with? Oh yeah.
Okay.
King Ilmander. Sorry if I pulled you away from a conversation. One of your servants urgently says, one of the dignitaries that's visiting wishes to speak with you in private.
Excellent.
And it's Zuvnu, the little serpent man, the little dragon man. And you have a little translator. Someone's able to speak the serpent tongue, unless you're able to speak it. I don't know if you have that as a language.
I don't think I do. Or it's not on my sheet.
All right. And so it's clear, and the translator, since you're his king, will translate directly into common, or, well, perhaps Yinian, actually, that this person immediately, or this little dragon man is immediately violating your rules of courtesy. And he speaks as if you're his eminent subject, and like everyone here is a weakling, and like this is just how this little dragon thing is speaking. But he offers something immediately, just comes straight out with the deal. The deal he offers is that if you secure a northern border and do not aggress the conquests of Aragnac the Red in any way, nor assist any of their enemies, if Aragnac the Red conquers these lands, the Serpent King will ensure your rule of those fairy lands for millennia. It is a treaty.
What reason do I have to trust you, Zuvnu, who come into my lands and treat me like a peasant?
The little pixie translator is flustered and embarrassed and deeply uncomfortable, and but still manages to conveys that like that's just treated in kind, and it's just full of like curses and foul language and everything. But yeah, nonetheless, there is also those two things: discourtesy, but also the deal is if you agree by magical pact not to in any way help the enemies of Aragnak the Red, if they should ever become enemies, then if Aragnak the Red arises as the sole power in the Isle, they will ensure your rule over these forests in perpetuity.
It's quite an offer. Do I know who Aragnak the Red is? Have I met him or his agents?
No, you have not met him or his agents. I don't think they've ever come into play here, but it is obviously, you would know them because you're an ancient fairy being of this forest. Aragnak, so the way, if you saw the setting fluff in the Gazetteer, Albion, mythical England was once ruled by dragons, by the Serpent Kings. And then Patrick came and dispelled them, and the Age of Steel arose with King Arthur, and they cast your fairy people. The men of the Isles went to war against your people and have driven them to the corners of the planet.
Yeah.
And so this is one of the ancient Serpent Kings.
Okay. I will say, Zuvnu, you have given us much to consider. Although you speak discourteously, we have not forgotten what the men have done to us. I will consider your offer.
All right. Okay, that ends his round. Let's see. Aha! Simeon, sorry if I interrupted a conversation. So this is your round. What are the four things do you wish to try to do? A shenanigan, a private audience with an NPC, King Elmander, one of the other factions.
What does shenanigan mean? Just
like, do you want to get up to something in secret that no one would see or know? Like, do you want to try to do something that no one would know about?
I see. Okay. I can't really think of a shenanigan, so I think what I will do instead is have a private audience with Rothar.
Okay. You would know something, by the way, before I do this. And I haven't been able to update this, but this is important.
Okay.
Queen Drusilla, right? Has just marched her armies on one of the Fionjotter forts. And it is hard to imagine how it will not fall by the morrow. You know that secret. I'm sorry, your birds know this. This is happening near your border.
Right.
I didn't get this to you in time. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That seems important now.
Do I have an idea whether they're all fragmented clans at this point, right?
You don't know. You don't know who's in charge, yeah. Or if anybody is, or if they're fragmented, yeah. You don't know. Some might be, some are, some aren't. Maybe some of them are you don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All right. Hrothar, welcome back. Is the Braunstein silly? It's weird, isn't it? Okay,
No,
so
I think it's actually kind of fun. I mean, it does really feel like a ball where, like, oh, you're talking with this one click, and then everyone kind of disperses and a new click forms. That's feeling pretty good.
okay, so once again, one of the pixies comes and says, "Hey, someone wants to speak with you," and this is Simeon, acolyte of the Fifth Mysteries in the smoking room.
Yeah. The Fifth Mysteries. How do you number mysteries?
I don't know. We just count up from one until we're done. But greetings, yes. So we have not met before. I suppose we should get to know each other's territories and objectives.
I apologize for my lack of manners. I let myself relax a little at the ball, I suppose. I don't get out much.
He'll offer a plate of finger food. Here you go.
It becomes hand food.
Right. So, I've heard whisperings that you were the one who wished to be Low King, at least for now, but we're considering High King. What sort of king would you be of these realms? What is your interest in that besides people listening to you?
Well, I've been fairly open with the others that my long-term goals and my short-term goals right now are feel very far apart. This region here, I'm at the southerly end, let's say, of Eastreach. It's got a lot of monsters and like undead and stuff. This is it's hard to rule them. Like you can't really envision, what's this kingdom going to look like when it's just there's an army of undead in the middle of it. So first things first, there's a lot of what I hope most people would agree, villainous entities and monsters that need slaying. To that end, I'm more than happy to work with anyone who seems like they probably won't betray me. And even if they seem like they probably will, I'll think about it.
I see.
In the long term, we'll see, I suppose. But a place where people are safe from monsters and pirate attacks would be... That'd be the baseline of my vision.
And in the southerly reaches, within the people there, are they united, or what's the situation amongst them?
No. The short version is that the Fionjotter who swore oaths to my father have become disunited upon his death. I am trying to unite them as best I can. That has gone with mixed success so far. I've suffered a portion of my people whilst I believe they were loyal, but while outside of my control, were attacked by pirates and appear to have been sold off into slavery, which I'm not very proud of. But so far, the territory and people that I have reclaimed to my side has been done so with minimal bloodshed, which is something that I believe is good. Like I said, there's monsters and there's people, and I think reducing the amount of fighting people do is in everyone's interest. How about yourself? You said that you were an independent agent.
So, I don't know how much you know about the Caden's Rest area, but it's sort of
basically nothing at the start of tonight. That's been one of my actual main interests. I'm hoping to travel over there if I can.
Then I can reveal to you and let you know that it's essentially, since you have shared with me information, I will return the favor in the spirit of the night. That it's a realm fairly developed, that adventurers and others have gathered, and they essentially share the same goals of ridding the land of undead and other villains of this nature. So I think you would find yourself conducted with peace to be treated fairly there. I have adventured with that group of people for some time, and then have recently ventured east on my own to this forest, which I believe is going to be north of where you are, generally speaking. So that is my current abode. I would consider myself still allied with them, but I suppose we'll work that out a little bit more.
Well, if you feel interested, I'm a little out in the boonies, but if you head south from the River Ness along the coast, because I have ships. That's how I think about things, as coasts. You'll find one major river. You go down one more river, and that's where I am. If you want to visit or seek supplies or anything, you're welcome to stay there.
Caden's Rest would be a bit of a distance from you, I think, but I can.
It's
certainly
shorter
reach there
by
myself.
sea, and I'm working on that. It's my dream. I don't mind admitting this. It's my dream to establish a nice port town, hopefully one day a port city at the coast where I am now. And I'll need some more specialists and to help construct it, but I want to get a good shipyard going, get a fleet of merchant and war ships that can conduct trade between the major settlements with access to the coast, and which can launch attacks from the very same direction. It would be a great boon, I think, to all of us, but...
Sounds reasonable to me. I
See-
think my main interest is, in much in the Druid type fashion. Coexistence with nature is my most important priority. So if you are willing to respect that, then I think we could find some sort of allyship.
I don't think I have any particular objection to nature, assuming that you're not wholesale opposed to logging efforts.
As long as the forest does not shrink and things are replaced, I consider stewards of the land to be the call of the day.
Sounds agreeable to myself.
Okay. A tentative peace treaty then. All right, Colin, is there any other big thing that you want to...
There is one thing. So he would have overheard you ask about communication, and he'll say, I have the ability to train birds, and some of them can speak normally. I don't think you would be able to speak with most of them, but perhaps if you wished to buy the services of some birds for that purpose, we could use these to solve
Caleb.
your issue.
Birds, man. It's
It's gonna be birds again.
I gotta be honest. I'm all about this. I don't need any speaking birds. Just birds that know where they're going would be fantastic.
All right, let's
I
seal
think-
the price here and now. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, and I'm gonna intervene because people are too nice. So I'm gonna start, Colin. I'm gonna propose that
I have
this,
no frame of reference for the cost anyway, so yeah.
and you can raise it higher or maybe say, I think it's a little too much. But I'm gonna suggest that this ought to cost 100 crowns a month, and here's what you would get. You would get the adjacent services from Simeon's domain, where a portion of his birds would come and spy on your domain and spy around. And what he's able to get is a little birdie told him a lot.
That sounds, yes, that sounds good to me with the other costs that I have.
Hrothgar, do you have 100 crowns that you can provide to Simeon? That's 100 crowns is like 3,000 gold pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go for that.
Right. This is per month.
I'll take off a ring worth, let's say... Hold on, let me look at my notes. My monies again. I need to check if these are worth... I'll take off a ring worth 200 crowns, let's say.
That pays for
And
2
that'd
months
be
right there. All right,
Hold on.
That is, let me make sure I know this sounds dumb, but like that's a lot of money, so I just want to make sure I don't have this wrong.
It is. The advantage of having fantastic jewelry worth preposterous amounts of money is that I can just carry it.
All right, Simeon, you have secured a peace treaty. You also gain 600 gold pieces worth of a extremely fancy ring. You must sell it to someone who would want to buy it to get the 6,000 gold pieces if you want that. It is also 6,000 experience points that you gain.
Oh, good.
So you can mark that down. All right, let me move on. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Zoltan, hello again.
Hello.
Let's see here.
I've been frantically figuring out how to roleplay in a hurry. So now I gotta get my head screwed on straight another direction.
Now, oh wait, actually, I'm gonna go back to the. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Of the dark one.
I gotta go back. All right, sorry. Hello, everyone. Actually, let's see here.
Hello.
So, quick interlude. We've passed our first round. Let me frame kind of where we're at and what's going on so far. Okay. All right. So it's 10:53 p.m. I said multiple things in multiple places. I said this might be 30 minutes. I didn't know what would happen, and I'm so sorry. This is obviously a very alien way to play, even for me. I'm having a ton of fun. This is really neat. Braunstein is. This is like I looked up like how do you like the actual Brown. Like how does Dave Wesley run a Braunstein, and I'm trying to kind of emulate that with rooms and stuff. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but we're getting late, so I wanted to provide two things. Number one, we'll probably run long. I will be done by 11:30, and I'm going to pace it, and I have a plan. If you need to leave now, like if you're like, hey, I thought this was going to end at 11, I got work in the morning, let me know. Does anybody have work in the morning? Otherwise, it will end at 11:30, and I'll tell you my plan of how. If you got to leave in 10 minutes, we're going to do you first, and we're going to finish your last round. Does anybody got to go? You will miss out on the thing at the end, but you might get it in the text. Sorry, go ahead, Colin.
I'm good. Just let you know.
Oh, okay.
Good to stay.
All right. We will keep this pace up. I know, for example, Caleb, I know you have to go, like you don't want to stay after 11, and I'm with you. I don't want you to have to do that. So I'm gonna, in fact, actually, do you want to just finish your last round? I'm bump Caleb up. Do you need to go at 11:30 or 11? Sorry.
I'd prefer it. I can go later. I don't know. I'm thinking about myself.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we have you go first, and then I'll also tell you my plan. So here's my plan. For the following round, it's timed. The first round should have been timed. I just didn't think about that, but it makes sense, and you probably should do that. So each of you will get 2.5 to 3 minutes each. And also, like, if you're going to make a move, make your move. Like, so some of you have been like, oh, it's nice to meet you. And then now you're on the spot to, like, make treaties that impact the fate of entire kingdoms. But you are here to do that. So it's a tough one, but that's the game. So, all right. So we're going to start with Caleb. I'm going to put him to the top with Hrothgar. And then it's going to be Zoltan, Zuvnu, and Simeon. And then we'll conclude the ball after that. That should be done in 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're going to end the ball. Before we do that, the Fethine can intervene. Do you have any interlude or any intermission? Is there anything that the Fethine wish to do with everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to... we'll have the trumpets blare, and we are going to return some gifts to Hrothgar. We are going to give like a rib bone from the demon of Nurgle that
Ooh.
like we took, and it's like decorated with a whole bunch of spirals and that sort of thing. And I'm going to graciously give this to you and say this is merely a symbol, a token of thanks. We are thinking about what you asked, and we will make right. We will pay you back for the gift that you gave us. I'm gonna and I'll give to Zolatan. I'm gonna give you some. I'll give you basically marijuana because like that's what we have here in exchange for the tobacco.
All right.
And Simeon.
I do need to unwind.
Yeah, and Simeon, I will give you some bottles, some very nice bottles of honey wine that we have made.
Right, sounds good.
Yeah. And I don't think Zuvnu gave me anything, so.
Classic Zuvnu.
All right, here we go. Hrothgar, see you over there. Uh-oh. Okay.
Hey, you're here, maybe.
And we're back. Okay. And then, let's see, I'll put this up again. All right. So, your second round, it'll last 2.5 minutes. And then we'll be done by 11 if you need to go, or you can judge that and see how it goes and see how fast maybe the rest of it goes. Second round. Go ahead.
I think I'll bounce after this, and I think I'll talk to Zuvnu.
All right. Well, that solves Zuvnu's round as well. So that's.
I don't really have much. I was thinking I'd skip out on my round, but I was like, I could bump shoulders with Zuvnu.
Zuvnu simply, because this is his round, he'll actually he'll demand to speak with you. The translator slips out that the demand part. The translator's really suffering with how awful Zuvnu speaks. And he says, all right, I'm departing. Time to make your decision.
No. If you would like to establish a non-aggression pact, a peace between our armies, I'm down. If you want to collaborate against the undeads or what have us, I'm down. But with respect to your generous offer and the generous offer of Aragnak, I've decided to remain unaligned for now.
Zuvnu curses, and then he tells you, I will ensure every last of your people are slaughtered from north to south. There will not be a place left with a place that is not a skull scorched with my master's breath. All of you will die. I will burn all of your sails.
That seems disproportionate.
And with that, he leaves angrily from the ball. And then perhaps you need to leave for some reason.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll stick around.
Okay, I'm gonna throw you back in. That definitely ends that round as he just leaves angrily. Mm-hmm. So I'll throw you back in here. All right, Zolatan is next. Zolatan. Oh. All right, you have 2.5 minutes. What of the 4 do you choose?
Oh, I'm stumped. I did all the things that I planned on.
Let's throw some things out here.
Sure, hit me.
I recall you needed adventurers to go into Rappan Athuk.
Yeah, I talked to the Fethine about that.
Oh,
think
okay.
Of who else to talk about that? I mean, I could talk to them more about that. There's no reason not to. I mean, I was essentially just talking with the Fethine, so I think I would just. Since I only have 1.5 minutes left, I guess I'll just say I'll go talk to the Fethine again.
All right, I will bring King Elmander in here.
Yeah.
All right, hello again, King Elmander.
I wouldn't actually mind bringing in Colin as well, because we're sort of on the same page here. We're sort of in the middle of that, and not to complain.
No, it's fine. Okay, you can do that, but that would be it. Does King Elmander wish to be in? This would be if King Elmander enters the room and says, I want to stay and listen. This is King Elmander's, what he's doing.
Oh.
What are you guys going to talk about?
You can't.
No.
Okay,
yeah. I basically ran out of ideas. I ran out of road.
No.
So I was just going to continue the conversation we were just having.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do anything else.
Sure. I will stay
Okay.
here.
Okay. All right. I'll bring in Colin. Here we go. All right.
Hi, Colin. I didn't have any
Uh,
ideas, so I said let's just continue the conversation we were just having.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Sorry.
If that's the case, I'm going to boot you guys back out, and because it sounds like you were having a conversation, and that's okay. Plus, we're almost out of time anyway for Zolatan. And the only person left, it's very simple. Actually, there's only one round left. So I'm going to throw you guys back out.
All right.
And that is Simeon. Simeon, your last round. Of the 4 things, what would you like to try to do?
Oh, so you said Zuvnu was an option to meet with.
You see him departing the ball angrily and cursing. One of the fairies is trying to beg for him to come back, and if they have offended him in some way, to try to repair this, and he's stomping off angrily into the night.
Well, I don't have much else to do, so I guess I will go after him. Maybe in the realm of shenanigans if he doesn't want to.
Sure.
Talk.
Sure. Let's see how that goes. So you try to catch up with him. This is a chance for me to roll dice,
but not in any hostile manner. So
sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He swirls back on you and he says, the translator just quickly passes on. He says, he's threatening. He says that all of you humans are the same, and that you'll all be punished for what you've done here. I'm so sorry, sir. Please do not blame me.
Oh, very well. I do not. I suppose he can. I mean, I don't have a way to talk to him, so I suppose he'll have to take off.
All right.
Let's see. Let me then, if I still have a turn to go.
Yeah. You can take the rest of your turn. You've got 2 minutes.
Let me bring in the Fethine.
Okay.
All right.
So, to try to go through quickly, Simeon will bring you aside and say, so I've struck a deal with Hrothgar. He will have the services of my birds.
Excellent.
For his communication needs. He related to me.
In your debt now.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't consider it that, but we can certainly work together on that. So for his disposition, he seems like he wants to rid the realm of undead and creatures, monsters. I'm willing to work with him as far as that's concerned. Then for working with you, I wanted to see if we could strike a more formal alliance than just inviting you to my woods. I don't have too much to offer in services to you besides my own skills as a up-and-coming druid. I am trying to raise forces. But
We can come to an agreement. We like gifts. We have these festivals basically every season, and you can give when you are more able.
Certainly.
But this is binding. When you are able, you must give.
That's acceptable. I think it is my belief that the sharing of bounties is part of nature and coexistence.
So let's make this more concrete. What is the agreed thing requested? Like, what are you getting concretely?
I suppose it would be mutual. The things I'm thinking of are mutual protection.
Okay.
And Simeon is able to offer like his expertise in having delved somewhat into Rappan Athuk.
So if someone attacks the Fethine, you will then launch out to fight. And if someone attacks into the Forest of Nope, hopefully to be renamed soon,
Yes.
the Fethine are bound to help. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
But then Simeon must provide a requisite gift upon the next year.
Correct.
Okay, I understand. All right. That sounds like a deal.
This is amenable to me. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Oh, everyone's back.
We weren't talking about
Not
anyone.
talking about anything important.
All right.
We were actually talking about something incredibly important.
Yeah, and yes, indeed, everyone is back, and everyone enters back into the ballroom, except you notice is that Zuvno is not here. Captain Rose and King Ufkel are not here, and the ball comes to a close. So I ask, who do you think? This is sort of out of character, but who do you think is most winsome, Zolatan?
I kind of feel like it might be Ulfkill.
Because of the
Even though
role-playing?
he was only here. He was just. You didn't hear all of it. He was just belting it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I love it. I do. I want to hear it.
It depends on how you measure it. You know.
Here's how you measure it. But it'll ultimately be up to King Elmander. But it's measured in two ways: the 3 rules and what progresses what King Elmander wishes. So we'll see. But the question I would counter propose to Ufkel is, what major concrete thing was then agreed with King Elmander or others, perhaps?
Well, I mean, it's hard to be concrete with Faye, isn't it? But we did get some. Exactly. We did make some progress, though. I don't mean that in just a endless way where you can endlessly be negotiating. I think we got most of the way to an agreement. I mean, obviously, we would need to, like King Elmander said, he needed to talk it over with his Eye Council, and likewise, we would need to talk it over with the Council of Caden's Rest. But to the extent that we are able to make,
don't reveal too much. Sorry,
I'm trying to talk around what it actually was.
There might be enemies here. We don't know exactly.
I'm trying to talk around what it actually was, but it was. I mean, I think it was pretty benign. But yeah, I was trying to talk around the specifics just to play along.
Well, Colin, who do you think was most winsome?
Well, I missed all of Wolfgal, so I'm not sure on that regard. So then I'm going to have to go with Hrothar.
Okay. All right. Hrothar, who do you think is most winsome?
Well, I assume that I cannot choose the very
you can choose
handsome
yourself.
And beautiful, respective.
Oh, you can.
I was going to say I assume I can't choose the Fethine because they're the hosts. So instead I will choose myself.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
I think I was
Flattery
great.
will get you everywhere.
Flattery is courteous.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll be the tie-breaking vote for me. I'm shameless.
Well, King
Elmander.
I'm going to hand it over to King Elmander.
Also believes
That's been a little silly.
that Hrothar was the most winsome. He brought a truly kingly gift and gave it to us. And he also has spurred a friendship between our people and Simeon. So I believe that he is the most winsome of the evening.
All right. This is announced publicly. And now this binds you so you can say no to this gift because there will be a binding to the Fethine. But and I will give that to you secretly, actually, right now.
Dalton visibly deflates that his music didn't work.
I missed the music. I got sucked away whenever we were discussing it.
It could be like that sometimes.
Okay, so that is the thing that you were secretly told in is the thing in turn, but you are granted a limited wish if you agree to it. As the prize.
Those terms are acceptable.
All right, I will tell Jake what it is, but he probably will not be surprised. I'll tell you a little bit later.
Sweet.
All right, then what limited wish do you want?
What?
And you can do it in general terms if you want it to be secret. It would be like, I want to know something like that, where I want to have a powerful weapon or something like that.
I don't know if this is something I can do, or this would break the game a little bit. Of course, that being my intention. I'm a Wrath chanter. I chant Wrath. The thing I do, the whole gimmick of my class is that I basically I'm like a modern D&D berserker. I enter a rage. I want the rage ends after a certain number of turns. I want that. I want to be able to rage forever until I turn it off.
Okay, I will make you a deal. I think that you are able to build a warband at your next level.
Yes.
And you're able to wrath more, right?
A little bit.
Okay. You could leave with a new level, which is pretty huge. But yeah, I'm not going to give you infinite wrath. But it's worth asking.
Wow.
That would have been fun.
I took so many sessions to level once. This is big.
It really is. I've done a lot and just have made no progress whatsoever on my level, really. I'll take it, yeah.
All right. Okay. You are able to build a warband. Okay, so that concludes the Fethine Ball Mirco-Braunstein. Thanks a lot, everybody, for coming and doing this silly game.
Mythic Mountains RPG is a private online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Folk RPGs are the games that belong to all of us. They're what actually happens at a table between friends. It's their voice that has the authority on what is fun and what works for them. Weekly, we upload our games to allow others to sit in with us. The channel isn't monetized. We don't own the artwork, music, software, or games shown in these actual plays, and you can find links to their authors in the description. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish, or don't. Just like games in person, you're welcome to pull up a chair, sit in, and watch some of our games. No performances, no fancy equipment, just regular people playing folk pencil and paper role-playing games and having a good time. We hope these games will prove a source of enjoyment to anyone just wanting to listen in, anyone looking for examples of how actual groups run and play folk RPGs, and most importantly, if you haven't found your group yet, you're welcome here at ours.